Hey guys, what's up? This is Anger Bancho here. We're jumping back into our playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima, the new game plus. We recently just helped out Yuna and kind of progressed through the first bit of the story last time, and now we're just kind of wandering around right now, trying to find our next big quest. We really want to focus more so on the main storyline of the game as opposed to kind of just wandering around the map, clearing everything up. And oops, I hit the wrong button. I'm still trying to remember the control scheme we're playing. This game came out in July, and here we are in September, late September, early October here, playing this game again. In 3 months, you play a bunch of different games, you know, switching back and forth from the PS4 to the PC. We're definitely going to be trying to remember the controls, even though we've played this for a little bit already. There are certain things, certain skills that we forget how to do in the game. But right now we're slowly making our way through the game. This is a pretty expansive game. It's not as big as, say, Assassin's Creed Odyssey was, but it is pretty big. The game told through 3 different main chapters. We have so much to do in each section, and yes, you can go back and forth at different portions of the map throughout the game, which is pretty cool. As you can see, we barely have a lot of the map opened up. We don't have the game telling us, you know, a certain percentage of how far we are in the game, so we could be, you know, 5% to 30% of the game and we will have zero idea. A feature they added just recently to the game is now you can tell how long you've actually played the game, which is actually pretty dope. That was not something you were able to do up until until you know, the New Game Plus was added, so now we see how long we were able to actually play our first playthrough, and that was very impressive, about 65 hours, and I was like, wow. That's actually a decent length for an open world title, but we're arriving at the Golden Temple here, which is sort of going to act like our hub.
Lord Sakai!
It's good to see you. Gonjiro, right? You served Lord Nagao. He was a good man. I'm sorry we lost him.
I'm honored you recall a humble household servant. So many of us here owe you our lives.
I'm afraid the fight for our home is just beginning.
That's why we want to help, my lord. People started donating what they could, and... Please, accept these gifts.
Thank you, Gonjiro. And everyone else who contributed.
We'll keep donating what we can, here and elsewhere, as word of your victory spread. May the Kami keep you from harm.
So essentially what's going on here is, as we progress through the game and complete certain quests and such, we are going to unlock, they're going to give us gifts. There's going to be little items here and there, nothing like insanely crazy, just like stuff that we could use to make new equipment, or at least upgrade our equipment as well. Like I said, it's nothing to write home about, but it is something.
The katana of Clan Sakai, an exquisite weapon.
You recognize it on sight?
For me, every blade is unique, as recognizable as a person. Lord Sakai, bring the materials I need, and I would be honored to improve such a fine sword.
And throughout the game, we'll be able to do upgrades on our swords, as well as our armor and our other equipment.
You don't have what we need to do the work.
And throughout the game, we have to obviously collect, you know, materials to be able to do that. And you can upgrade whatever you want. Highly recommend upgrading your swords first, that being your main focus. And while that is, I believe that was a trophy in the main game, it is definitely something, like I said, definitely focus on making your swords as high as possible.
Hello, my lord. I was just remembering the words of my old master Saigyo. To cleanse the spirit, one must first cleanse the body.
Saigyo was a wise man, who spent too much of his later years singing in the hot springs.
But surely you agree his words ring true. The healing waters, purifying steam, and shade from a red maple. Nothing beats a hot spring bath to steel your spirit for battle.
I suppose you're right. That's exactly what I need.
And throughout the game, we'll be able to talk to random characters in random areas, and they'll kind of give us, they'll give us like certain locations, like rumored locations, and we'll be able to check them out. There'll usually be some kind of like event there.
I can repair all kinds of armor. Make it the envy of Hachiman himself.
Even broken armor fresh off the battlefield?
Well, that does look quite damaged. Bring me something in better condition, and I would be honored to show you my skill.
Things that always crack me up about New Game Plus when you play a game in New Game Plus is you're kind of walking
You
around.
need more to make these improvements.
We were walking around with the broken samurai armor. That's what you would usually be wearing at this point in the game, of course, if we're playing originally and we switch over to the ghost armor, which will lock near the end of the game. That last third of the game, you can rock the ghost armor. That is my personal favorite armor in the game. That and the Sakai clan armor, which we unlock in the second third of the game. A lot of these armors we unlock via the story. Like I said, a lot of stuff comes from the story. Nothing is really like kind of insanely hard to unlock in this game, which I really appreciate. There's no difficulty-based trophies. You can play the game on easy. You can play the game on normal. You can play the game on very hard. You play the game on whatever difficulty you want to play on, and you're still going to have a good time. Yeah, I mean, you play it on harder, it's going to be a bit more of a challenge. The enemies are difficult, but at the same point in time, you know, if you're playing on easy, the enemies are going to do less damage and you're going to do more damage, but it's going to take... It's interesting to see, to say the least, how the difficulty scale works because of the way they work it in the game.
You honor me with
And I was really hoping there'd be little new things in New Game Plus, as Uncle Iroh is talking to us here.
What if they attacked from
The one thing I wish they would add is they added a couple new armor sets, such as adding armor dice. But I know that requires a lot of work, and the company that makes this is Sucker Punch, and they could be working on another project and another IP at this time, such as another Ghost of Tsushima game, which I've heard rumors they're already working on, like a follow-up. Or they could be doing, you know, an infamous game on the PS5, or even a Sly Cooper title on the PS5. It's been a while since either of those titles really had a, I guess we'll call it an installment, because, you know, Infamous was Second Son and Dying Light, which came out right around the launch time of the 4. And then, of course, you know, Sly Cooper 4 came out at the end of the PS3 about 7-8 years ago. So, I mean, it's been a while since the game really came out with anything major. And I know this game probably took a while to develop due to its expansiveness. And keep in mind, this game came out as a late PS4 title, so obviously it's going to really showcase a lot of the technology. A lot of earlier titles in the games, the system's lifespan didn't really fully have at the time. So we're going to call our horse here. As you can see, I mean, they really love the leaves of this game. They just love having the leaves kind of blow around. I'm not a big fan of the whole leaf thing, but I mean, it's cool. It's a cool thing they do in the game. And we're just going to ride our horse to our next actual quest. Now, you see here, we have it mapped here. I still try to remember the button scheme here to be able to bring out the winds to give us the idea. And as you can see, after a few moments of riding our horse, or even just walking around, the HUD's going to completely kind of vanish away and just become straight up like we're watching a movie. And that's pretty cool, but also really annoying. You see, it did that. It's absolutely stunning because the game looks fantastic. And once, you know, we do something like swing our sword or hit a certain button, it kind of gets rid of that and we get a little bit of the HUD. And that seems to be a big thing for, I guess, games to do now, is to minimize that HUD to make it more immersive. And I get it. As much as I love games, you know, kind of becoming, like I said, that more immersive experience, it also is kind of weird, to say the least. So like I said, we're just riding our horse to our next big quest line. I think we're going to... I forget which character, but in the first chapter we have 3 side characters. We're going to start working on building up their side quests. They have a couple chapters. So throughout the game we have different side characters. We have Yuna, we have several characters we haven't met yet. And they all have quest lines with individual personal quests that we need to take care of. that progresses the character story and evolves their characters, but it also kind of at the same point in time, it also kind of, you know, gives our characters, not our characters, but kind of pushes their story and pushes the entire story together as a whole. So right now, that's our big goal right now, is to just kind of get through all the major quests. We're going to try to do as much of the side quests, which is your regular Tales of Tsushima, which is going to be side quests that don't involve any of your major characters. We're going to try to get through those as well. Like I said, it's not going to be a major... We're not going to do every little thing in this game. Usually, there's so much to do in a game like this that you definitely kind of lose track of all the things that you've done and all the things that you haven't done. And our ultimate goal by the end of this game is to have seen as much of the story as possible. We're not focused on doing all the hot springs or the haikus or the other stuff, which is so much stuff to do in this game. We're not really focused on getting all that, you know, every single little thing here. So it looks like I think we're actually going to see, I believe it's Sensei Ishikawa.
Perhaps someone at the inn can direct me to Sensei Ishikawa.
We're just going to kind of swim through here. But yeah, we want to find Sensei Ishikawa and really just figure out where we're going.
A samurai, right?
I'm looking for Sensei Ishikawa.
I thought he fell at Komoda.
He didn't. Where is his dojo?
To the forest. I can show you the way, my lord.
So we're just going to follow this guy here, and we're going to find...
Lord Sakai, you must do something. It's Kii's sake brewery in Azamo.
That brewery is the pride of Tsushima. I remember the first time I tried Kii's sake.
Soon there will be none left. The Mongols are taking it by force.
I'll see what I can do.
Like I said, throughout the time, we're going to talk to people, and
Did the sensei not fight?
they're going to
Komoda?
give us
He came to
like I
town
said,
for supplies
locations
before the invasion.
for
Hardly spoke a
events,
word.
whether they
He's
are
always been a private man.
quests or just like a little thing that we need to
My
find.
The stories of Sensei Ishikawa are true.
What stories?
They say he sank a pirate ship with a single arrow.
Not the ship, but he shot a pirate captain from the shore. Routed the whole fleet.
I'd hate to cross an archer like that.
Do you deserve death?
I hope not, my lord.
Then you're safe from Ishikawa.
The sensei's dojo is up there on the cliff.
So we kind of have to find our way up this cliff here. You can see it right there. Every once in a while, the game will kind of force us to use our...
One more question, my lord. May I ask why the sensei left his post as archery master to Clan Nagao?
No one knows.
Strange. Giving up service to a great lord for... this.
So like I said, we gotta figure out a way up to the dojo here. And, I mean, like I said, unlike Breath of the Wild and even Genshin Impact, where you can virtually climb everything, this game follows the Assassin's Creed logic where certain colored portions of cliffs and stuff like that are climbable objects here, and that we're going to really be able to do it. And obviously, we can't like tap the cross button or the X button, whatever button you want to call it, to jump. We kind of have to use a directional stick to really kind of move between our... what do you call it? The cliffs and everything like that. So we actually reached Sensei Ishikawa's dojo, so now we have to hunt him down real quick.
There was a struggle here. Better look around. Dried blood. The fight wasn't recent. Someone was wounded. Remove the arrow.
So yeah, now we got kind of doing these like this really reminds me of kind of like The Witcher here, where we kind of have to search things around. Obviously, we have that we don't have a special ability like Geralt does, but we can kind of go in this black and white mode, where we can see certain things are outlined throughout the game. Obviously, the game will tell us we're going in the wrong direction. We could open that door, or we could just slice it open like that. Very rude and disrespectful to Sensei Ishikawa. I am curious though if that door will, I don't want to say respawn or regenerate, I don't know. But there's stuff in this room that we're missing. Normally at this point in the game though, we do not have access to bows and arrows, so obviously we wouldn't need to do anything with that. So something's definitely deep in this area here we're missing. And it's kind of frustrating when I can't remember it. Usually when we do a New Game Plus, I can kind of remember what we're supposed to do or where we're supposed to go and the things we need to do. But when it's been such a decently long period of time between, playing New Game Plus and going in and playing a regular game here.
Bloody footprints. The victim or the attacker? Maybe the sensei is in his house.
It is kind of hard to remember every little detail about the game. This isn't Persona where we can remember everything. So we're just definitely just following these footprints right now, which is
a humble home for a samurai.
Seems to be the logical best case scenario here. We got some flowers, we'll need them later.
Don't move.
Sensei Ishikawa.
Lord Sakai's boy. You survived Komura.
We could have used your bone.
I was on my way when bandits attacked me.
Are you expecting them to return?
A samurai is never caught by surprise. I'm sorry about Lord Shimura. He was a good man.
He's alive. Taken captive by the Mongols.
Then there's hope.
That's why I've come. Help me save him.
I can't. My student is missing. A skilled archer.
I will help you look. Then you can both help me free Lord Shimura.
Try and keep up, Sakai. Who else made it out of Komura?
No one knows.
Any others who can fight back?
Besides us? I don't know yet.
You'd better find out quickly. We can't free your uncle by ourselves.
I can help track your student.
I need no help tracking Tomoe.
Tomoe? A woman? From what clan?
No clan. A peasant. But she can outshoot any samurai I know. Even you, Sakai.
The last time I saw you was 10 years ago.
You came to study with me.
You remember?
I remember most of the students I reject.
Instead you took this Tomoe as your student.
You showed promise. Tomoe is a prodigy.
Mongols!
So the big point of Sensei Ishikawa's kind of story arc right now is to find his student, but also at the same point in time, we need to make sure that we need to also, at the same point in time, learn how to use our bow, which is going to be a big thing here.
The moist trail picks up here. Come! The Mongols took Fort Nakayama. The patrol likely came from there.
That's close to the hot springs.
The town will be the next to fall.
Something happened here.
An ambush. Look around.
Rice and millet. Left uneaten.
The attack was sudden.
Blood, but not much.
No one died.
A Japanese quiver.
A gift to my greatest student. I fear the worst. Tomoe would never leave that quiver behind.
Unless she was pursued.
Or captured.
To what end?
Interrogation. Torture. Worse.
They may be doing the same to Lord Shimura.
Fear is a weapon, Sakai. Do not let the Mongols use it against you.
Your student. Where would they take her?
Fort Nakayama. The fort is nearby.
And some of these quests in this game are a little bit longer than others. This is going to be a longer quest line. I feel like usually the introductory quest for a character is going to be one of the longer ones for that story arc. Throughout, obviously, the 3 portions of the island, Ishikawa's quests are going to be scattered. I think he has like 9 different quests that we're going to have access to throughout the 3
I should have
chapters.
fought the Komura with you.
Better you didn't. You lost enough there.
Why did the samurai fail?
The Mongols fought like animals.
Wrong answer.
I saw it with my own eyes.
An archer's aim relies not on eyes, but on body, mind, and spirit.
So I guess we'll have to head over to this Fort Nakayama section here to find out where Tomoe is, if she's even there.
Stop here. We need to talk.
What's wrong, Sensei?
This bow was a gift to me from Lord Nagao many years ago.
It's a beautiful weapon.
Of course it is. And there's nothing more painful to me than a perfect bow ineptly used.
And it's a good thing you're giving it to me.
Who said anything about giving? Prove you can shoot straight. I'll let you borrow it. Try it out before we go into battle. Aim for that lamp closest to us.
So right now we're going to get a little bit of an arrow tutorial here. I hate shooting arrows, so we're not going to see me use the arrows as often in this game as other players. I prefer using the more sword-based combat here. Arrow-based combat's not terrible. The one thing they do well in this game is they kind of,
I'm getting used to the grip.
you kind of have to adjust your arrow. So if you're shooting further,
Like it was made
you
for
have
me.
to.
It wasn't. So take good care of it. Let's go.
You kind of have to aim up. So like if we're shooting further away and we want to hit a specific target, we have to kind of aim our arrow up, which is actually pretty cool. That would be something you probably have to do IRL if you were shooting
I haven't
arrows.
seen the Mongols fire weapons.
They have not yet won. Fort Nakayama.
I hope your student is inside.
We'll get a better look at the defenses from up there. This spot is perfect.
I'll find a way in. Open the gate. Then we hit them.
You always charge into battle with your hakama half-tied?
You have a better idea?
Patience, Sakai. The Mongols will send men to find their missing patrol. When they open the gates, we strike.
The longer we delay, the longer Tomoe remains in danger.
She can take care of herself. Survey the battlefield. What can we use to our advantage?
Hornet nests. One shot could stir them up.
The Mongols will face the sting of insects and arrows.
Those barrels could do some damage.
We'll find out.
An arrow in those hanging lights will kick up sparks.
And start fires.
They have many archers.
They're skilled, but we are better. When the gates open, distract the enemy and rain arrows on their heads.
Then we storm the fort and free Tomoe.
Good. Now we wait.
They're opening the gates.
Wait for my signal. Get ready. Now, send them to their ancestors.
And so we're going to really get back in the combat. Obviously, the thing is that they're going to want us to really focus on doing, I guess, it's more ranged combat here, and I really don't do ranged combat. So we're going to shoot the arrows as best we can, and then we're going to kind of just, woohoo, I used something. Okay, yeah. We did something. That was unintentional, but that's one of those skills we get later in the game. I think it's actually one of the legendary moves, but we did that. That's what we did. The cool thing, though, about the ghost armor, we'll learn later, is that a kill has a certain percentage chance of terrifying an enemy. That enemy will obviously either run away or crawl away in fear. Now, obviously, as we level up the armor, that percentage chance of us inflicting that fear into our enemy increases. So I think right now we're at like a 40% chance, which is actually pretty high if you think about it. 40% means that out of every 4 out of every 10 enemies, if you're in a group of 10 enemies, are going to cower in fear when you make an actual kill, which is bananas when you think about it. And obviously, we get another thing about this game, though, that we have is throughout the game. New Game Plus, we are going to see, I guess we're going to see different types of enemies. So some of these enemies we wouldn't see in our original playthrough, but because we have all these different stances, we're going to see Spear Boys and Double Sword Guys and Chunkers, you know, all the different titles that we want to call these guys. We're going to see them earlier in the game than we would because we have all the skills unlocked. If we're playing on any difficulty on New Game Plus, instead of playing on Standard, it's called Standard Plus, where it's just a slight adjustment from the standard difficulty to accommodate the fact that you have all the skills and everything like that. And like I said, this is actually a fairly easy to... Ooh, look at us glitching. This is actually a moderately easy game to get the platinum on. Everybody that I know who has played this game was able to obtain the platinum trophy for this game, in case you guys are wondering. It's not insanely hard. You pretty much just finish the game and you get some or all the collectibles, and a lot of stuff shows up on the map. You actually don't even have to get every single collectible in the game. That just goes to show you one thing I said. I love getting a platinum trophy kind of deviating off topic here, is still a challenge. Don't get me wrong, it's a challenge. You have to spend 50 plus hours doing it, and you have to have the patience and stuff like that. This is not like, you know, if you get the platinum trophy for The Witcher 3, for example, bravo. I applaud you. That takes a lot of time. But the thing about that one is there's the difficulty level trophy. You have to play the game on the hardest difficulty. For some people, that's not something they want to do, and it really turns them off from investing even more time in the game. Making a platinum trophy more obtainable, as opposed to, say, The Witcher 3. We'll take, for example, Last of Us Part 2. That was challenging, because you had to go back and play the game like 1 2/3 times to do everything that you need to do. It felt worth it to get it, don't get me wrong. It was frustrating, it was a challenge. But like I said, that's what you need. You want a little bit of a challenge, but you don't want to make it too hard. So we cleared out the fort now, and we get to go find Ishikawa, and we'll see what's going on.
Slain prisoners.
Tied up. Killed with arrows.
Tomoe isn't... Wait, this pendant belongs to her. Search the fort!
So now we kind of have to search the fort to try to see if Tomoe is here. We'll find out in a few seconds here.
A scroll. Archery terms with Mongolian translations. Your name is mentioned.
She was teaching them my way of the bow.
So we definitely have to kind of wander around right now to find what we're looking for, to find his pupil. And sometimes doing these kind of things is definitely moderately frustrating to me, because there's just so much for us to do.
Someone's personal quarters.
A woman's kimono.
Tomoe's kimono.
The Mongols freed her. Why? These arrows are Japanese.
They're Tomoe's arrows.
You are sure?
I taught her to make the knock with deer horn. And that curve of the eagle feathers.
So the Mongols took her weapons?
The shots are tightly clustered. No Mongol shoots Japanese arrows with such skill.
Huh. Then they allowed her to use a bow.
Do you hear that?
A survivor.
Help! Please! So cold. We're looking for a woman, an archer.
The Mongols caged her with us. But they set her free. Gave her armor and a bow. She killed my wife. And the others.
The bodies we found.
She proved her skill to the enemy. And they recruited her.
Please. It hurts. Don't leave me.
I've seen enough. Let's go. I should have killed her.
Sensei?
Tomoe won her freedom. And she joined the Mongols.
Why would she do that? What happened?
I pushed her too hard.
Pushed her how? What are you hiding? Sensei!
I demand an answer. She attacked me. Not bandits. Tomoe.
Why?
She has no idea what it means to be samurai.
You drove her to the Mongols.
Do not judge me.
Do not lie to me.
I can't let Tomoe teach my way of the bow to the enemy.
Then we will stop her.
This is my fight. I don't need your weapon.
No, you need me. Victory is won by warriors, not weapons.
Lord Shimura raised you well. We'll hunt Tomoe together, but we do it my way.
And when the time comes, you will help rescue my uncle.
You have my word, Sakai. I will prepare to hunt Tomoe. When you are ready, meet me at my dojo.
We can't rescue my uncle alone. I need more people to join our fight.
Fine lady Masako Adachi. If she's still alive, she's one of the finest warriors on the island.
And this was a great place for us to call it a break, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I have more Ghost of Tsushima coming your way, as well as tons of other content, and I'll see you guys next time.